Are you ready for the main event of the first half of the show? That didn't sound excited. Are you ready for the main event of the first half of the show? Ladies and gentlemen, next comedian coming up. For some reason my brain was about to tell me to say he's a good friend of mine, but I just met him today, so I don't know why I was about to do that. It's the fakeness, probably. Yeah, bacon strips. See, now I'm staring at that shirt now, because I'm high. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Matt Drufke. Ladies and gentlemen.
Point, Indiana. You guys come out for some. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is awesome. Coming out, supporting live comedy. That's great. You don't see that. You don't see that in a lot of places, which is cool. Like, I had the worst show a couple weeks ago. I was in a little town called Lamoille, Illinois, doing a Christmas party for a Lions Club. But if you don't know where Lamoille is, no one does. Here's what you do. You go to Chicago, then you drive south into farm country until you get sad, and then you're in Lamoille. That's how it works. And I like to do research about towns that I don't know anything about. Here's what I learned about Lamoille. According to the last census, there are 773 people who live there, and then they break it down via ethnicity. So it's 99% white, and then it moves on. Finally, at the end, 0.13% African American. Which, if you do 0.13 of 773, that's like 1.004, which I think we all can agree is a weird number of black people. So let's round down. Let's take 1. So I mentioned that. 773. 1 black person in the town. Honest to God, 80-year-old member of the Lions Club stands up and back. He's like, "Oh, you mean Tim?" Okay, I guess. Oh, well, sure. Or not. Good for you that we know him. You all know. All right. But here's how much does it suck to be Tim, right? Because you know they're like just fucking racists waiting for Tim to have a bad day or cut someone off in traffic just so they can be like, fucking blacks in this. Come in here, sleep with all our women. There are no black women in Lamoille. That's how it works. Are we drinking tonight? Are we consuming alcohol at a vigorous pace? Yes. You guys like me, you guys ever get so drunk, you get behind the wheel of your car, then your GPS is like, "Are you alright to drive?" And then you're like, "Shit, I don't own a GPS." Wait a minute, I kidnapped this midget with Google Maps on his iPhone. Take me to Oz, little one. Here we go. Here's a weird thing. Like, I started comedy pretty late. I'm 32 right now. I didn't start drinking till I started doing comedy. So it was one of those things where it's like, because it was just one of those where like, I was a kid and I just made a decision I wasn't going to do it. So then I would be like, wait, what if like high school me is like, what if I'm at a party and someone offers me alcohol and I want to say no? So I would practice in front of a mirror how I would just be like, "No, I'm full," which is not a real thing at all. And then I realized I wasn't even getting invited to those parties, right? Those drink night. All my parties involved like Dungeons and Dragons and Mountain Dew and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's not. So that, yeah. But the thing was, I never got prepared to start drinking. You know what I mean? And so then I started very late, and then it kind of got out of, like, the first time I ever got drunk, I got drunk on stage. I was hosting my friend's birthday show in a little town called Elgin, a little suburb of Chicago. And here's how drunk I got. I got so drunk, it was like I gathered a team of scientists, and I was like, "Hey team, how much mistake juice do I need to put in my misery gullet before I get so drunk I take my dick out and put it up against a window so that anyone walking on the street can see it? How much do I need?" By the way, answer, not as much as you think. Not really, not much at all. Really, like, I don't know what your number is, but we all know that number. Like, go into your head to like that kind of dark place where you're like, "This is how much alcohol it takes for me to publicly embarrass myself in front of everyone." Give me, divide that by about 9, and that's where I am, right? Like, I'm on my first glass of wine, I'm doing all right. 2 more glasses later, I'm driving home with some of you with just my dick against your neck. Jethro Tull song comes on the radio, I'm just playing you back on like a xylophone. That's how that works. That's how it works. But we are drinking. I do have a public service announcement. Here's what I will say. I will say that if you are a lady, and if you're going to get drunk tonight, that's awesome. And if you're going to get so drunk, you're going to make a mistake in your swimsuit area, that's fine too. Go home and have sex with someone, but whatever. But just do this. For your sake, find the nerdiest guy in here you can to go home with and do that. For a couple reasons. One, because he's probably fucking clean, right? Like, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying you never see a guy in a Lord of the Rings t-shirt walking into the free clinic getting a Hep C test. That never happens, right? And 2, nerds are fantastic lovers. We're great at it. We get it done. We're awesome at it. We're just amazing. Because we never stop, and it's just a non-stop assault. Like, as the nerd slogan is, worship that vagina like it's the last one you'll ever see. not knowing you, it's gonna be. That's how that is, yeah. Like, no matter, fucking do it. Like, if there's a problem, we get a graphing calculator and figure it out. If you're worried about hair in that region, fuck it. Just put googly eyes down there, call it Chewbacca, it just turns us on even more. That's what it does. I'm a big nerd, and that's awesome, right? Because you, like, just, there's that mentality, there's that nerd way of thinking. I was watching TV, I was going through the little, like, the program guide on my TV. I got super excited when there was Wizards versus Warriors on. I got less excited when it was a basketball game. That's what that pissed me off. All right, so it's a new year, and we all have things we want to do, even if we don't call them resolutions. We all have goals we want to get. Like last year, I did a real good goal. Last year, I lost 50 pounds last year, which is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And people are like, Matt, you must have amazing willpower and resolve. No, I take a pill. I take a little pill, and it makes me fit. It's awesome. It's called Phentermine. And here's what it does. I take one in the morning. It's a metabolism booster, so my heart gets racing real fast. But there are fucking dangerous side effects, like my jaw. I'll like start kind of twitching sometimes. My mouth gets real dry. I get dizzy. I get a little nauseous, which is how you lose weight. You're afraid you're gonna have a heart attack at any moment. You're like, I'm gonna die right now. That's how it works. I went to the doctor because I thought I had sleep apnea. And he's like, well, you could lose some weight. Here's a prescription for Phentermine, which is just, that's all he did. No, he just kind of looked me over and like, well, you're not solving this on your own, fatty. Here's pills and science. That's how. No advice. Not like see a nutritionist or exercise or don't stress eat. Don't do that. Like maybe if you're having a bad day, you shouldn't take a brick of cheese and then dip that into spreadable cheese and then eat that shit whole. Maybe not. I didn't know any of that. I'm a stress eater. All right, my favorite stress eating story, my most epic stress eating story is the worst comedy show I've ever done. And let's talk about it right now. Last November, I had to do comedy in Platteville, Wisconsin, which is a fucking terrible little town. It's just horrible. It's god-awful. But like the night started well. Like I always go into some place wanting to be excited and wanting to do good. And I show up to this place. There's an all-you-can-eat buffet for the audience and the comics. And I have a plate. I'm feeling good. Walk into this beautiful showroom. It seats 200 people. They talk about how they sell out every week. My week, 7 people. 7 people. And here's why. Because they booked me first week in November, which in Wisconsin is the start of hunting season. And that's where everyone is. If you've never been to Wisconsin, they do 2 things. They hunt and they wait to hunt. And that's their lives. And the college is right there, so I don't know what they're hunting, liberal arts majors or whatever. See a kid with an English 101 book, you just hear, "Duck, faggot!" and then buckshot. I was supposed to do 25 minutes that night. 25 minutes, which I did. I was supposed to get paid $150 that night. Here's what happens. End of the show, owner comes up to me, he's like, hey look, we do not have $150 to pay you, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you half the money. And you remember that all-you-can-eat buffet, we're gonna open that back up for you. Have whatever you want. Which is, because like, I wasn't even the headliner of that show. There were other comics on the bill. And I don't know if they all got that offer or if I just appeared more prone to accept an all-you-can-eat buffet. Which I did, by the way, and it was awesome. I just stormed right into the kitchen, walked right past the styrofoam, grabbed the china, just declared, this is mine. Then just walked up, loaded everything up, got in the car, started to drive away. But now here's the thing. Remember, this is a stress eating story. I've got a 3.5-hour drive. I needed that extra $75. So I'm angry and I'm concerned and I'm worried. So here's what I do. I just peel open that first plate and I start digging in. Which, by the way, I did not remember to bring silverware, which is awkward. So it's me going after mashed potatoes like a bear trying to get salmon in a stream, trying to claw things open. I finished that first plate in something like 6 minutes. Now we have 2 more plates, and I'm still angry, I'm still stressed, but now that food's starting to get cold, and I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna eat cold plates when I'm stress eating. So you just need an idea. Here's what I'll tell you what I did by saying this. If you ever want to see the most surprised you will ever see someone, it is the expression on the 80-year-old black woman when at 2 in the morning in a gas station in north central Illinois when this walks in, shirt untucked, stains galore, demands to know where the microwave is. Then upon being told this gas station has no microwave, just kicks the door open yelling, this is bullshit! I thought I lived in America! Which is not an applicable statement. Only then later to open the door and ask where the nearest microwave accessible gas station is. Because you do shows anywhere. Comedy happens in the weirdest places. My favorite spot to do comedy, because I'm not that far from Chicago, my favorite spot to do comedy, there are gay bars, and they do shows all the time, and they're awesome. And I gotta say, like, for comedians here, if you've never done a show in a gay bar, get in one, because they're amazing. They're so fun. The audiences are so great. Here's the thing, like, I thought I'm a pretty liberal, like I'm a socially liberal guy. I thought all my friends were the same way too. And I like to advertise my shows and things like that. So I had friends, I'd be like, hey, you should come see me. I'm doing a show at Sidetracks. They're like, isn't that a gay bar? I'm like, yeah, but it's okay. We all go together, right? But people just get so afraid about that kind of stuff. Don't be. Like, just be who you are. Be yourself. Like, I kill at gay bars because I just am who I am. I'm this kind of weird, dumpy, awkward guy, right? Just be yourself. I kill at gay bars because I know what this is. I'm just a chubby straight guy that likes sex with ladies. Like, weird, free, like, with a leg in the... All right, like, here's the thing. If my wife knew half the things I had wanted to do to her, she would not let me have done any of the pre-approved things I needed a lawyer and a notary for. All right, you guys don't like the sex shit. We're moving on. So I'm glad we don't care about Iowa anymore, right? Like, we're all glad that the primary's down. Just fuck that state. Going first at almost picking a candidate doesn't make you important. But here's the thing. Like, I watched all the debates because I want to stay educated. And that's the one thing I'm going to tell. It's like, we got to know who we're going to vote for. Because there's a big election, and it's very important. And the only advice I give to you guys is just read something. Figure out who you want to vote for that agrees with the shit you agree with and vote for them. Because you'll see so many people try and fuck things around. Like, during all those debates, there were all these kind of polls that had nothing to do with the issues. Like Fox and MSNBC just being like, well, candidate seems the most likable or the funniest or who you want to have a beer with. That doesn't mean jack shit, all right? Like, I'm funny and likable. You want to have a beer with me, I should not be president. You know what I mean? Like, your commander-in-chief should not be the guy who, when that check engine light goes on his car, just fixes that problem by removing the fuse for the check engine light. That's not... I have no solutions, only distractions, complicated distractions. Like, they're like, Mr. President Drufke, how will you solve the economy? I would just be like, have another Super Bowl! And the worst is, you hear it more and more now, and Fox does it a moment where they're like, what Republican candidate will curry the vote of the Tea Party? And look, I genuinely don't care what you guys believe in politically, unless you support the Tea Party, in which case I hope you light on fire and die. Like, that's all I want to say. That's all I have to say. Because fuck you guys. Like, here's the thing. I didn't mind the Tea Party, and then they started becoming real assholes in my personal life. Like, I live in a little suburb of Chicago, and I live across the street from something called Sun City, which is a retirement compound, I guess they call it. Whatever old white people do when they vote against schools, wherever they go. That's where this is. And they had a Tea Party rally at a gas station I frequent. They gave me a little brochure. And I'll read it. And they talked about all the wins of the Tea Party. Their big one this year, where they talked about, guys, you remember when the President of the State of the Union, the Tea Party, got to do a televised response, which is fucking crazy. Because here's the thing, you have the president and his beliefs and opinions and point of views, and then the Republicans with their opposing beliefs and point of views, which they're entitled to have, and then the Tea Party, which is the fucking batshit version of the Republican Party. And like, and they got time on TV. And how does that, because that never happens in other type of arguments. Like, when you had the Lincoln-Douglas debate, you'd have Lincoln followed by Douglas, followed by a crazy racist with a beard of bees just screaming the N-word over and over again, right? Like, when you had the Scopes monkey trial, you didn't have the teacher trying to teach evolution, followed by an oppressive school board, followed by out of nowhere an orangutan just tearing a baby's face off. That's not what happened. And they gotta change the name. They gotta change the name. Because they're not like the Tea Party. That's an offensive name. It's offensive to the legitimate American patriots who did honest to God amazing things, like tyranny against. Like, fuck, that's great. Like, that was amazing. And this is just white people yelling. Like, if Thomas Jefferson somehow took a time machine to today and saw a Tea Party rally, he would ride to that rally on the bear that he owned and muzzled and rode around his estate. Go to a rally, grab the quill he used to sign the Declaration of Independence, stab everyone in the heart, then immediately complain about the lack of black pussy. That's what he would do. That's what he would do. Guys, Thomas Jefferson rode a bear. Do you not understand? Like, that's the point of that joke. I should, like, do you not know, like, the guy on the nickel, our third president, rode a bear around, like a horse or large dog. That's what he did. Like, here's how about that, I was trying to think what the modern equivalent of riding a bear was. What what Barack Obama could do today that would be as awesome as Thomas Jefferson riding a bear in 1790, whatever. You guys want to know what he could do? He could ride a fucking bear! That's what he could do. The coolest equivalent of riding a bear, flatline. And it's always awesome, all the time. Which doesn't happen with anything else. Because everything evolves and changes different. You know what I mean? Like communication and transportation. Sex has changed. Like sex, this thing that everyone wants and needs and pursues and leads men to fucking war and invention and women to red wine and Jason Mraz albums. Sex has changed. Riding a bear, still riding a bear. Thomas Jefferson, best American ever. That's what I say. God damn it, that joke is stupid. There's a smart part in that. All right, I have two older sisters, and I have one that used to come to comedy shows a lot and doesn't anymore. And it's fine. Like we talked about it. And here's the thing: like she doesn't mind that I talk a little about sex. She doesn't mind that I curse. But she might do a lot of stuff like. Comedy is a lot of people making fun of themselves, and that's how it works. Like, people often ask, Matt, how do you write your jokes? And I say, well, here's what I do. I grab a pen and a piece of paper, and I write down all the things I don't like about myself, and then I make those into jokes, and then I tell them in front of audiences, and when you guys laugh, it means all that is true. And then, yeah, right? And then I just go in my car and drink and cry the rest of the night. Because it seems like we just try and make people laugh at the most depressing stuff. Here, like, I have a little set list here, just one or two words to kind of give me remembering jokes in the order I want them in. This is an honest-to-God set list I have. I want to read it to you. These are the jokes I told on December 7th, 2010. Here we go, guys, in order. They're just, I'm fat, I'm a drunk, I'm not a man, I'm old, I'm not tough, I'm kind of gay. Happy laughing wherever you heard that. Jesus Christ. Because you just find things. You find ways to make depressing things funny, right? Like, that's how it is. Like, my wife and I separated in October. It was real sad for a while because she aired this like list of grievances. A lot of that was about like I'm immature and things like that. And I get it. Like I'm not a real man. I understand that. But there's no way to change that. You can't Google search how to be a man. By the way, when you do, here's what you get: weird surgery videos on YouTube that you never unsee. That's where it is. And now that's in your memory forever. And it's a weird thing that, because like I said before, I'm 32. I'm one of the 3 oldest people here. And that's it. But like, it doesn't feel that way. Like, in the past 3 years, I have bought 8 comic book t-shirts. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you open up my closet, it looks like the dressing room of the Justice League. Assuming every member of the Justice League got horrendously out of shape and needed all of their costumes tailored to XXL, is what it was. Like, if they were just like, hey, Justice League, there's a crime on Earth. They're like, no, Martian Manhunter bought a wheel of cheese and all 3 seasons of Arrested Development. We're just gonna do that for a while. We're like, Matt, what did you do in your 20s? That's the decade to do shit, to be stupid and fun and have sex and party. That's not what I did. I spent the entirety of my 20s playing Xbox, playing Major League Baseball 2002 on Xbox, trying to give the Chicago Cubs a perfect 162-0 season on expert level. Yeah, it's impressive. By the way, did that, then went back, did it again. Only here's the thing. A lot of those baseball games, and Major League Baseball 2002 has this, it's the create a player option, where you get to make a player, do look however you want, have whatever name you want. I made the Cubs' entire 22-man roster me. Just 5'10", 250-pound assholes named Matt Drufke went home to first in about 3 days. I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to throw a perfect game with a 36-mile-an-hour fastball. It's fucking hard. Like, I've started dressing a little nicer, but like, I'm just a slob. Like, I'm like, something is gonna get stained on my clothes tonight from something that I probably won't even touch at the course of the evening. Like, it'll be weird some nights. I'll be doing laundry, and I'll be like, how did I get blood on the inside of my sock? Oh, wait a minute, that's not blood, that's cocktail sauce. Despite the fact I was around no seafood at all. I'm just very messy. But you try and get fancy every now and then. You try and try new things. You know, I like trying new things. Do I have time for one more, Keith? Just one more? All right, cool. I'm gonna leave you guys on this story, because it's a nice story, and it's a cute story, and it's going to remind you, like, do something different. How many people is it your first time here tonight? Is anyone's first time here tonight? All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out. Yeah, you're having fun, aren't you? Try something new, and it paid off. I want to tell you about the first time I tried fresh lobster. which was, like, this is easily the nicest I'll dress up ever. I own like a suit. I bought it at a Target, all right? But I put on that suit. I took my wife out for her birthday. It was about 3 years ago. Went to a very fancy seafood restaurant, and it was awesome. And I'm looking down the menu, and fresh lobster's on the menu. I'm like, man, you know what? You only live once. Everyone says fresh lobster is awesome. Let's try. Pardon me, waiter. I will have the $55 fresh lobster, please. And he said, come with me, sir. And I said, oh no, he's going to run my credit. Things could get rough. No, that's not what he did. I don't know if you guys ever had fresh lobster. Here's what they do. They take you to see the tank of fresh lobster, like still fresh, they're alive and swimming, and you get to pick which one dies. So now I'm staring at all of these lobsters, trying to figure out which one to eat, hoping one will just rat out the other one, being like, he's delicious. That never happened. Finally, about 5 minutes, I'm just like, fuck it, I want that one and that one to fight in a cage, Thunderdome style. I will eat the loser and put the winner through college, because that's who I am. Like, all of a sudden, I'm Joaquin Phoenix in the end of Gladiator, just being like, am I not merciful? No, I'm not. I'm eating fresh lobster. So they bring me this lobster, and clap it up if you've eaten fresh lobster before. Some people love it. It was okay. It was all right. Like, I had a sandwich today. It was just as good, right? And then my wife proceeds to tell me how they make fresh lobster. How lobster goes from being live and swimming in a tank to sitting on your plate. You were kind of saying it a little bit in the back there. Okay, yeah, that's the noise. I didn't realize I had my own sound effect team here. Jesus Christ. Here's how they do it. If you don't know, you take a live lobster, and you get a boiling pot of water, you just throw the lobster in until it boils live. Like, you hear it scream. You hear it scream. By the way, if that's too cruel for you, here's what some chefs consider the more humane method. You take a live lobster, you find the biggest cutting board you can, throw it on there, grab a cleaver, and stab it in the face till you hear it, scream. Then you have a dead lobster. And again, fresh lobster is at best okay. Now, I am not saying how much an animal suffers should equal how delicious it is. But that is exactly what I'm saying, right? Like, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying if after the show, you guys like it, we want to go to a meal, or go to the fanciest steakhouse in Crown Point. Is there like a Sizzler around here? I'm not sure. But if we go to this steakhouse, and like, in the middle of us ordering steaks, the waiter says, pardon me, sir, we need you to come in the back and hold down the cow while 6 cowboys in steel-toed boots come and kick the shit out of it while humming the theme from Bonanza. That's a good goddamn, right? Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying if afterwards we go to the fanciest restaurant we can find, and the maitre d' comes over and says, pardon me, sir, I need you to come in the back and help us heckle and berate the pheasant till it runs crying into the bathroom, where wing high we have assembled a noose, a bottle of sleeping pills, a revolver with 1 bullet, and the first 2 Fiona Apple records on the stereo. And that's a good goddamn meal. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me. God bless, guys. Good night. You got it. Thanks, buddy.
Give it up once again for Matt Drufke. Oh, that was awesome. I enjoyed that, wasn't it? It was awesome. Starting a new year off right. Are you ready for the main event of the first half of the show? That didn't sound excited. Are you ready for the main event of the first half of the show? Ladies and gentlemen, next comedian coming up. For some reason my brain was about to tell me to say he's a good friend of mine, but I just met him today, so I don't know why I was about to do that. It's the fakeness, probably. Yeah, bacon strips. See, now I'm staring at that shirt now, because I'm high. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand...
I like to do research about towns that I don't know anything about. Here's what I learned about Lamoille. According to the last census, there are 773 people who live there, and then they break it down via ethnicity. So it's 99% white, and then it moves on. Finally, at the end, 0.13% African American, which if you do 0.13 of 773, that's like 1.004, which I think we all can agree is a weird number of black people. So let's round down. Let's have 1. So I mentioned that. 773. 1 black person in the town.
Hands together for Matt Drufke. Ladies and gentlemen.
Point, Indiana. You guys come out for some. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is awesome. coming out, supporting live comedy. That's great. You don't see that. You don't see that in a lot of places, which is cool. Like, I had the worst show a couple weeks ago. I was in a little town called Lemoyle, Illinois, doing a Christmas party for a Lions Club. But if you don't know where Lemoyle is, no one does. Here's what you do. You go to Chicago, then you drive south into farm country until you get sad, and then you're in Lemoyle. That's how it works. Alcohol at a vigorous pace, yes. You guys like me, you guys ever get so drunk, you get behind the wheel of your car, then your GPS is like, are you alright to drive? And then you're like, shit, I don't own a GPS. I kidnapped this midget with Google Maps on his iPhone. Take me to Oz, little one, here we go. Here's a weird thing, like I started comedy pretty late, I'm 32 right now. I didn't start drinking till I started doing comedy. So it was one of those things where it's like, because it was just one of those where like I was a kid and I just made a decision I wasn't going to do it. So then I would be like, wait, honest to God, 80-year-old member of the Lions Club stands up and backs like, oh, you mean Tim? Okay, I guess, oh, well, sure, or not. Good for you, that we know him. You all know, all right. But here's how much does it suck to be Tim, right? Because you know they're like just fucking racists waiting for Tim to have a bad day or cut someone off in traffic just so they can be like fucking blacks in this town. Come in here, sleep with all our women. There are no black women in Lemoyle. That's how it works. Are we drinking tonight? Are we?